Hey guys, great to see you again. It's Theodore here from ConsultingHQ. Today we're going to be talking about what management consultants do day to day. So we know what management consultants do, but the big question is, what do you do actually when you are at work? We get asked this question all the time, so let's get started. Okay, so what do management consultants do day to day? Before we get into the details, drop me a note, drop me some questions in the comments about other questions that you've got with respect to management consulting, corporate, your career, personal development, or anything like that. That's what we do here at Consulting HQ. Don't forget there are a ton of freebies. I've put the links in the bio. Big one that's being downloaded at the moment, which you may find helpful, is the ChatGPT playbook for management consultants. It's over 85 pages of search queries, prompts, and everything else in between as well. So check out the links. And if you haven't enrolled already, also I recommend doing the Management Consulting Bootcamp as well. It's probably the best that you'll find on the internet, and it's been carefully curated by industry experts, including myself. So today's question, what do management consultants do day to day? So I'm going to break the answer down into a couple of key areas, because there's probably about 3 or 4 different things that a consultant does at their work at any given time. So number one, I'd say without a doubt, would be actually working with clients to provide advice to clients and help them solve big problems. So what does that really mean? Well, you could be doing workshops and leading workshops with the client in their office at client site. You could be traveling and visiting a part of their business. Say, for example, if you're working for a manufacturing client, you could actually be going out to the factory where they manufacture goods and services to do research, to do investigative analysis, and all that sort of stuff. The other thing you could be doing as well is actually interviewing employees. So learning about their business. What do they do? What sort of problems do they face? And again, collecting data and gathering information. And when you're also working on a deliverable for a client, you'd actually be developing those deliverables themselves. That's building out reports, doing assessments, writing Word documents, PowerPoint presentations, anything where you're describing and playing back the information that you've gathered and then putting all the assessments and analysis that you've done into a report that is ready to present to the executive. And finally, and on that last point, is that you'll probably be briefing the executive team as well, or the client that has engaged you to go and solve a particular problem in their business. So that's one part of it. The second part is if you're not doing work that's related to providing advice to a client, the second thing you'll be doing is probably training. So that means reading books on your particular niche area of specialization. It could be workforce optimization, could be even business strategy or tech consulting or risk audit or something like that. So there's a ton of courses that you can do that are freely available on the internet. By the way, if you want to do some amazing courses, check out ConsultingHQ.com. There you go, a little bit of a shameless plug. But there's also specialist courses and certifications. For example, maybe you want to pass your CPA or TOGAF if you want to become an enterprise architect, or even ITIL if you're, again, in that tech space. So you'll always be training if you're not working on deliverables. You'll be doing in-house courses, particularly if the Big Four, they've got some big learning management systems available where they've got a ton of courses that have been developed in-house by those big consulting firms. And there's also some external courses that you can do as well. But either way, you'd be training on something. As I said, reading a book or maybe even, like I said, doing a course as well. The third part is business development and sales. And so therefore, if you are not training, if you're not doing deliverables and working for a client, then the third part is business development and sales. And that is to help the firm that you're working for win work so that you may generate more client work downstream. So when you're doing that sort of work, you could be meeting with clients, leading presentations. You could be even writing a statement of work or a proposal that would pitch you and your company and your team to win the work and convince your client that you are the right team, firm, individual that can help solve their problems and their challenges as well. So BD, business development, pre-sales, even sales, all incorporates a number of different activities, everything from responding to requests for information, requests for quote, requests for proposals, even doing the pitch, even doing some market industry research, and then obviously finally, delivering proposals as well. Again, whether it be in a Word document or maybe even a PowerPoint presentation, both of which are quite common in the consulting space. The last one, and probably the fourth one I'm going to mention too, is that when you're not doing the first three that I've just mentioned, is what we call in-house activities. So if you're working for Big Four or one of the MBB firms, if you're not training, you're not doing business development or sales, and you're not actually on a billable engagement where you're servicing clients, then you may be doing stuff like activities that support the firm. And what I mean by that is sometimes you'll get tasked to actually build some intellectual property. So maybe a thought leadership piece on, say, the future of the environment. Maybe a thought leadership piece on the future of, say, even like a specific sector, like the retail industry or the banking industry, or maybe building a new framework that your consulting colleagues can maybe use in the future to make their lives easier and to help clients solve challenges and problems even bigger, big problems even quicker than perhaps normal. So there are internal activities, maybe building intellectual property, but it could also be doing other things like maybe interviewing new graduates, maybe building a new, maybe, I don't know, like a culture framework or something like that you can help deliver across the team. Or maybe even organising the monthly birthday cake party in the kitchen at work. It could be something as simple as that. But normally that is when those sort of things are usually reserved when you're not doing the previous three that I just talked about. So I've covered 4 big topics, 4 big things that you're likely to do as a management consultant day to day, and all vary in terms of level of intensity and work output and so forth. But either way, you're still contributing to either the firm or you're contributing to solving clients' problems and challenges through project delivery. So if you've got any more questions with respect to what management consultants do day to day, or you want to share some of your own experiences, I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you drop your comments in the chat below. And like I said before, check out the ton of freebies that I've also included. The links are below in the chat as well. And I'd love to hear your feedback. And don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button so we can stay in touch well into the future. So that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next episode.